Hello, everyone. Welcome to another fantastic spiritual spotlight with Rachel Garrett. Today, we have the beautiful and wonderful Vanessa Arends coming to us. Where are you coming from today?
I'm actually based in the Canary Islands in Spain.
She's coming to us from Spain, and I am here in upstate New York where it just snowed today. I'm so excited. She's bringing us the sun. She's bringing us the sun and the sunshine. And what I love about Vanessa is a certified life coach in mindset optimization. She is the tamer of mind monkeys. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what is it like to be a certified life coach?
I have to say that's probably one of the best jobs in the world. Because it's a chance to empower people. Life coaching has changed my life. Yeah. I burnt out totally at 35 and decided to hire a coach in my recovery period. I feel I'm a completely different person. I have so much more energy nowadays. And I want to offer the same to other people out there in the world.
I love it. So what exactly happened when you were 35?
I burnt out. So I was working in the corporate world, working many hours at the same, working 40 hours a week, and then doing an MBA on the side that was 20 hours a week.
Oh my God.
Always on the hamster wheel, doing, and striving. And my body just collapsed. I couldn't function anymore.
You're like, I'm done. And I will tell you, like right now, mindset work, life coaching, what you do is so paramount right now because we're in this massive transition where people are tired of the hustle. They're tired of the, I'm always working and you got to grind it out. And you got to work 70 hours a week. And you're probably getting all of these exhausted, overworked, their minds are, So how do you transition somebody from that kind of mindset into a more positive and empowered flow of life?
It takes time, but first of all, it's also awareness until they don't see themselves. They probably feel it. I didn't realize I burnt out, and I had people around me at the time tell me, Vanessa, you're working too much. I had a boss say, okay, you're getting ill quite often. I had the flu maybe every second week. Wow. I couldn't sleep. I would wake up at 3 a.m. I had that for a couple of years. To sleep, I would overtrain, and I would have people next to me saying, you have to tone it down a bit. There's no need to strive. Until my body collapsed. Basically, I had panic attacks. My body was shaking. There's so many things happening at the same time. And basically, first of all, is making them aware of what is happening. And normally the people who come to me will come with something like, I can't sleep, I'm feeling stressed. And then I make them aware of their habits, what's going on. Do they take any time off? And one of the things I see common is the guilt of having time off. That's something I experienced. And when you were sitting on a sofa in my 20s and 30s, I told myself I was lazy. I had to get up my ass and do stuff.
Oh my gosh, that is so true. Especially now you're in the beautiful Canary Islands, and I'm not sure. And I apologize. I'm not familiar with the culture as much as I should be, but like in the United States, it's always work. And there's all these memes about we go in for surgery and we're still texting our boss saying, oh, I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Yes.
It's that hustle and die mentality.
I mean, the Canary Islands is quite laid back. But having the degrees and moving abroad, being single at the time, it was also society pressure saying, okay, you have the degrees, the business degree, you have to go into corporate, you have to go up the ladder, and all the time striving, getting the pay rises, being satisfied for a few months, and then, no, I want to get more and more and more, and realizing that you're kind of chasing after something, an illusion, and that's not sustainable in the long run.
It really is.
I had to slow down totally. Slow down to the island mode where I was brought up and kind of unlearn everything what I learned over childhood and just come back to the basics of slowing down and be okay with taking the time off and not feeling guilty about it.
I love it. And also, I would imagine that your life is much more fulfilled now. You're probably making more money now than you did in the corporate life. you probably have a much better life and much better happiness.
Yeah, I just started my business. So I don't have the corporate salary as before. So that's transparency there. It's a totally new path.
Yeah.
But I feel much more wealthy in the sense of I feel like my time, I've got it back.
I love
and that's
that.
the currency that that's something that money can come and go. You can earn it, it comes out. Time is something you don't get back.
That is so true. So true.
And I feel that that's what I've gained. I've gained my energy. I love the work I do. In the past, when I was in corporate, yes, I had a phenomenal paycheck every month and I was working towards that, but I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
Yes, I could do many things, but something in me was saying, you should be doing something different.
Oh, now when you were burnt out, did you hire a life coach to get you out of that? Or
I had hired a therapist at the time, also because shortly after I lost my dad to cancer. So I got a therapist and I worked with her for half a year, but I felt I needed the tools to move forward from there.
Yeah.
And that helped.
Wow. And then how did you, I guess, find that life coaching was your passion and what really was, your inspirational mission in life?
Can you repeat that again?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're like, huh? What'd you say, Rachel? It's kind of like, okay, so you did this inner work, you kind of transitioned, you knew this wasn't working for you. How did you find certified life coaching as kind of like your mission in life and this is what you want to do?
I've always been interested in working with people, but psychology per se, studying that didn't attract me. I didn't want to work with the mental illnesses, so to speak. But I didn't understand what it was. At the same time, in the corporate world, I was always I really enjoyed training people, empowering them. When there was projects, I'll help them make their own decisions. And then when I had life coach, something clicked in me.
I love it.
And I was like, no, this makes sense. This is what I want to do. And speaking to my coach, I asked her how she got certified. So I took certifications. She also did neuro-linguistic programming. So I went into that.
Yeah.
And that blew my mind because I was like, oh, I'm the one who's creating the results through my thoughts. And that just went bam. And
it's so true. Yeah. Thoughts create your reality.
Exactly. So I've been working on that. I'm working on myself. And I was more convinced than ever that I wanted to help people. Having the tools that have helped me, I'm like, come on, these tools have to be given out to the world so that people can be helped.
Absolutely. So I know in your thing you say you're a tamer of mind monkeys. For those that don't know what mind monkeys are, can you tell us a little bit, what is a mind monkey?
Mind monkey is like the saboteur in you. So if you, for example, want to start your own business, there's the little monkey on the side saying, oh, you haven't got the experience, or you should be further ahead. That's self-talk you've got in your brain when you start something new.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're in meditation and your mind just suddenly goes, I should be doing this. I should be doing this.
Very much so. And just being aware of it and not falling in the trap of agreeing what the monkey mind says.
Oh, yes. So true. So true. And then like for you, you're teaching people how to ditch the and I'm sorry, I keep going back to hustle, but right now it's like, I feel like the hustle is really dying away and people are going into ease and grace and flow. And you're really like a catalyst. And I love this, like, and really like, for even someone like myself, I run a doctor's office and we're always like, we're busy and we're, you know what I mean? And I'm like, well, how do you go from to, like, I just love that. So what would a typical client like, what would a journey with you kind of be like? And it, like, let's say I were to hire you, what would you set the goals? Like, what would that be like?
And normally the clients will come to me and I will work with them for 6 months.
6 months. Okay.
I have changed it recently to a year, but people have been, and that's mainly because of people who want to do the inner work.
Yeah.
I like to recognize, what's the thoughts you're having? What's the monkey mind telling you? And recognize those.
Yeah.
And that probably takes a couple of months. And then we go to being aware of them, to changing them. And that takes another few months. So that takes a 6 months period. So you're aware of it and you practice new thoughts. what I find is working with people for 6 months is they tend to prolong their coaching because they would like to keep the maintenance of it.
Yeah.
Life happens.
Yeah.
Things happen. So how do you navigate being a new version of you when you are navigating whatever life is throwing at you? It could be a loss of a partner. It could be losing your job or feeling frustrated about something. How do you navigate the new you in that circumstances? So I have just started of doing it for 1 year, full year.
Nice.
But if people have been doing the inner work, yeah, I go back to the 6 months because they are fully aware already of what it takes to do the inner work. But it's definitely once every week.
Once every week. Okay.
Yeah, when I first started the coaching business, I was open to do it bi-weekly. But I found that monkey mind, when you practice the new thought, many things can happen in 2 weeks, and you're like, and who's going to win the battle? Is that the monkey mind, or are you going to stay put on your new belief systems? So it's a week.
Yeah. So when people apply to work with you, do you make them like kind of sign a contract and say, okay, I'm committing to this transformational journey?
Yes, there's a contract. So there's both agreeing that I agree to help that person with the goals. Yeah. And they are committing to doing the work as well.
Nice. Because I would imagine, like, you know, sometimes people, like you said, things get, you know, kind of wrenched in and, you know, you have to, like, this is a big, powerful transformation that, you know, you're helping them navigate through. I mean, it's a big commitment.
It is a big commitment. And of course, if somebody wants to fall off the contract halfway, that's okay. There's always a way. So I'm quite easy. I give them money back. There's always a money back guarantee, so to speak, looking at because I want the people to do the work, and I can understand sometimes it's not easy work to do. You probably have experienced that yourself. You have to look at yourself with the most honest eyes, and what you're going to see you don't always like. And it's not for everyone.
No, it's not. And I would imagine that people, they have this great idea, like, oh, I know that I'm going through this and I want to make this change, but then they may, you know, run up to some denial, and they may just not be willing to look in, because this work, you do have to look within.
Very much so. And it's also, I've had a couple of clients that were not ready to look at their feelings and their thoughts. They're like, yes, I want to have a change. I want to feel better. But working towards some weeks in and some months in, where they had to look at the feelings, understand that, they're like, oh, I'm not ready for this. And I'm like, that's fine. But it doesn't help me or you to carry on working together.
And I will
stop the relationship there, because you have to put the work in. And I'm there to guide them. The moments where things get hard, then they can tap into my belief. The same like my coach helped me at the time, that I tapped into her belief that I will get through it. Because there's a river of misery in between. That's for awareness.
You know, I am writing that down because I love that. There's a river of that is such a powerful statement.
And that's honest. I'm not going to tell you it's all rainbows and butterflies when you're doing the inner work. No. And that's why it's so nice to have somebody on the side who's been through the work. I still do the work myself, doing the layers and next layer, and helping people through that. But I know once you get to the other side, it's like, yes, this feels amazing. And then you'll probably be there for a while, and then like, okay, let's go to the next level. And you do it all over again. Because you feel calmer, you feel more confident. Once you've done it once, you can do it again and again. And those are the tools that I want to give my clients. Is for that 1 year, they might think, oh, that's a long time. But no, you've got the tools to do it again and again and again. Because once you up level yourself, you want to do it. You're probably like, okay, I've reached this. I've enjoyed it this stage. Now I want to go to the next level and have even more calm. How can I reduce my working hours even more and enjoy more of my time with things that matter?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love the fact that you're very transparent. Like, if it's not working out, then we can choose to do something else. No, but have to be, you're invested in your client, you know, and if they get to that block where they don't want to go to that river of misery, then, you know, maybe it's just not working out. And then, you know, come back to me when you're ready. I would imagine. Yeah. And it also feels very non-judgmental. This work is heavy and it's hard, and you know, we don't want to look at it's like the shadow side of ourselves. We don't want to look at it. We don't want to look at the dark aspects.
because it's also very much our own responsibility. And many people, we feel more comfortable being the victim mode. I know that because I've been in that victim mode for years, blaming everybody else around me.
I have to say that's another big thing. People that are in victim mode and victim mindset. Oh, woe is me. Oh, well, this happens to me because this always happens. No, your thoughts create your reality.
And I was like that. I was like mobbed in school, and then I'm like, oh, everything's easy for everybody else. It's not easy for me. And when I went to this neuro-linguistic programming, that monkey mind was like, you're not good enough and so forth. Those people were, or you're ugly, or blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, and there's something that Richard Bandler said, it's like, those people are not in your life anymore.
Yeah.
The person who's talking is you to yourself. I mean, that has to change. It's not any other person's responsibility. They said that, but you believe them and carried on saying that to yourself. Yeah. And that opened my eyes.
Wow. So with your certified life coaching, you said that you bring in the neuro-linguistic programming also?
Yes.
So how does that work with kind of shaping somebody's changing their mindset or helping them to transition their mindset?
I do a lot of journaling, looking at what their thoughts are. I don't do the neuro-linguistic programming per se in the hypnosis part. Gotcha. I'm not certified in that. I really enjoy it. I see a lot of magic there. I might consider getting certified in the future, but right now it's mostly looking at their minds and working with the visions and doing a mirroring and repatterning work there.
I have to say
simple tools.
Yeah.
The most simple tools, because I find some of the neuro-linguistic tools are really, really cool, but people are like, what? That sounds a little bit too woohoo, too weird. I just keep it so practical for people. And I love the spiritual world as well. Yeah. But I find some of my clients are not ready. There's something tickling in them, but they're not really, the curiosity like taps in, but they're not fully aware, and then therefore I don't speak too much of the spiritual language with them. But when I find they're opening up, then I can bring a little bit more of that.
And I love that, the fact that you're kind of like, because a lot of us are, we're at the practical stage. Like you've worked, you've hustled, you've had to get a job, you got to raise your family, you got to do this, like all the musts and the have tos, and people don't want to hear, well, tap into your root chakra. They're going to be like, go kick rocks. I don't care. I'm tired. And I've had enough. Like,
and also, I don't know about yourself, but I've been brought up with people, doctors and so forth, who have been very, very practical engineers. Yes. And then we've had I had one family member, cousin of my dad. I loved her. She was very spiritual. She did Reiki and so forth. And we connected like this. Everybody in the family thought she was crazy. And like, you can't make money. The only reason that she can do that is that she's filthy rich and she doesn't need a real job.
I love that.
It's some bullshit.
It is. It's bullshit. It is bullshit. I mean,
and there's a complete change. There's people out there proving that you can make money, and we need it. We need to.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, to be, like I said, I'm a registered nurse who runs a doctor's office, but I also have this whole other side of me where I am very spiritual. I mean, I go into the Akashic records. I bring in your team and your guides and your angels, and
that's the thing I'm also. And I love that about you, what you're doing, because we need more people like you.
And I do energy healing, but am I going to go to my overworked doctor and be like, so I'm going to bring in somebody like yourself who can make it logical and make it make sense. I know that you're bringing in the spiritual healing tools because you're a channel. You know what I mean? Like, so we have to 100%. We have to meet people where they're at,
And the people who are ready to do their works, they will feel something, and they have more curiosity, and they will open up some quicker than others, some slower. That's okay. But there's a process. I feel more people are awakening, so to speak.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
These sleepwalkers. There's so many sleepwalkers, but something is tickling them to do things differently.
You are 100% correct. The world right now is in this massive awakening, and the thing is that we all have to meet people where they're at, because they're going to feel overwhelmed, and like there's just a lot going on. So that's why I love someone like yourself, you know, because like, no, Vanessa's perfect for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, this is where you're at, and she's perfect for you. Now, what I've noticed is you also help people to lose weight. Is that correct?
Yes, many of them come to me. I don't do the traditional way saying like I'm saying, okay, this is 12 weeks and you eat
no,
this much. I don't do it that way. I've gone through that process in my younger days.
Yeah.
But those people come to me, they're hiding another issue. And that is the emotional eating. And those are the ones I take on. So if it's the ones who purely want to lose weight and they don't want to look at the emotional side, and I can recognize that, then I wouldn't take them on. They're probably better off working with another coach or a fitness instructor, or so to speak. But if I can feel there's an emotional side of why they are eating, then I will bring them on, because they are buffering on something. 100%.
Yes. I mean, yes.
There's something they don't want to feel. There's something that's going on that they are soothing themselves with food. Or it could be people who are overspending because they're over shopping. I haven't had people over drinking. I've had many overspending and overeating. So
because they're trying.
Probably the things I've done myself.
No, I mean, because it's
those are the things I've done myself.
Yeah, because how many times are we trying to fulfill something inside of us that's numb? And what do? We overcompensate. So we might overeat. We try to, we buy, we purchase, we spend, or we beat ourselves up, or, you know, we put up a wall, and you chip at that, and you're helping them to reprogram their thoughts. You know, we're going to say that again, our thoughts create our reality. And
100%.
Yes. And I love the fact that your tools are basic. And I'll tell you, even for me, somebody, and I sometimes I might bring in a whole other team, but my things are basic as well. Journal.
It works so much. I don't know about you, but being brought up during the master's and the business degrees, I was brought up with the belief, if you complicate it, you're more smart.
Yes. No. Yes.
And it's like, no.
Yes. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple and make it easy for people to understand. And that works. Yeah,
my favorite quote right now, or in my business world, is oh my gosh, make it smarter, not harder.
Yes.
You know, make it smarter, not harder. And keep it, it's a bad saying, but keep it simple, stupid. Like,
yes. Kiss.
Like, we know. See, we both come from a corporate world, and we know. But it's so true. Like, people disvalue how simple healing can be, and how tapping into just a simple, okay, what are the limiting beliefs as to how I got to this thought pattern? Okay, just journal it out and rewrite the story.
And some people don't want to write it out. I'm like, no, you're going to write it out. In your brain, you don't see it. When you see it, then you're like,
so true.
Or maybe you don't want to see you tap it for a while, then you open up again in the beginning phase.
It's so true. Like, I have, even for myself, and I'm sure you do too. Like, I try to journal every day.
Yes.
Every single day. And I try to write out my reality and what are the beliefs that I have that say that I cannot have it. And then like you, like, I will tap into my mind monkeys. Okay, maybe I'm not feeling, we go into insecurity. We go into,
and that's normal. And even though as a coach, I still go through that. Right. That's a human thing. And if this coach is saying that you're going to be confident forever, no, that's not going to happen. Life is a 50-50. But if you have the tools to snap out of it quicker when you're having the self-doubt, that's the key.
That's such an empowering gift that you give to people. You give them tools to snap out of it. You know, like when you're having a bad day, or you're having a thought that maybe is like, well, I'm not good enough, I can't do this. No, these are the tools that Vanessa has given you to be able to snap out of it.
Yeah, because whatever you focus on is where the energy goes. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm stupid, I can't do this, if you believe that 90% of the time, you're going to believe that story at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So no, do the other thing. Train your mind to say, yeah, I'm good enough. Yes. And tell the other one to shut up. No, I know I've got this. You might want to say something, but we've got this. We're going to do it this way today.
I love it. And you just brought up a really good point. Energy follows intention. If you set the intention, the energy is going to follow it.
Yeah. And your mind on I don't know, when we maybe don't eat properly, sleep properly, our mind is more likely, the monkey mind, to pop up and say, yoo-hoo, I'm here. And you're like, right, hello, well, I'm not going to entertain you today. But but it's so important to meditate and be aware when it comes up, and have the enough, I call it overview or energy, or I've got a Danish word coming up for some reason. I love it. Denmark. But you know what I'm trying to say is, when you're not sleeping, when you're not eating properly, you're feeling with much lower energy.
Yes. You're more like, yes, you're more vulnerable to
that's the word.
Yeah. Oh, it's so true. And then, but if you have the tools in place, then.
And you have enough energy and you're awake and you're meditating, then it's easier to say, okay, put your foot down and say, no. It's like having a little small kid in your brain.
It's so true. It's so true. Yes.
Have that toddler, you put your foot down, you're the one in charge, not the toddler.
And not your monkey mind.
No.
Not your monkey mind. I love it. And you also now you're a trail runner. I just like talk about some of your hobbies. So tell us a little bit about that. Like, where are you running? I started I've been running on asphalt when I was living in Denmark for a while, and did half marathons and so forth. And then I moved to the Canary Islands, and there's lots of mountains and hills. And I was like, do I want to run here? It's like all uphill. I was like, no, I don't want to. And the monkey mind, I could see was going, no, you're not good enough. This is going to be hard. And I was like, you know what? I like putting new challenges once in a while to train the mind. So I started 2 months ago and love it. Oh. I really, really enjoy it. I signed up to a few races already. Wow. One on the 20th, and I've got the next one on the 7th. Wow. And it's really good because there you can see the monkey mind popping up saying, oh, you were much faster last time, or no, it's so much better to sit on the sofa. And there we have to step in and take responsibility and say, no, I agreed, I'm going to go running today. I'm going to honor my word. And this is what we're going to do. I love that. Honor your word. Be a person. I do say that. I say that to my kids. I'll say, be a person of your word.
Yes.
I love that. Honor your word. That's awesome. I love that. Oh, I love that. And you also love dogs.
I do. I've been brought up with dogs. When I was born, there was a dog at home. And when I was a kid, there was maybe 3 dogs. I just love them. And now I'm taking care of my dad's old dog. He's 16 and a half. So, and then I like to play with him with energy because he doesn't listen or hear very well. So I will come into the room and in my mind speak.
He can
and
feel you.
Change the energy. He can feel me. He's the only one he responds to in the house.
Really?
I'm the only one he responds to. Oh. But you can feel it's really interesting to see how he reacts.
I love that so much. I love that so much. Now, if somebody wants to book a session with you or start this beautiful, wonderful journey, I don't even know where that was coming out of my mouth. What is the best way for people to get in touch with you? Is to go to your website, go to your Instagram?
They can go to my Instagram and send me a DM, or they can send me an email to hello@vanessaarends.com, and I'd be happy to attend them there. I saw that my website, I'm just doing some fixes there with the links, so I wouldn't suggest
okay
right now.
So hello.
That's the perks of the updates of websites, and then everything just crashes and you're like, duh.
I know on my business cards I'm like, oh wait, that's not my website anymore.
I mean, in corporate you could just go to IT department and say, can you fix it? But now as an entrepreneur you're going to
your own IT department.
So I'm just currently fixing it these days. So Instagram or email is probably
or
the best
Facebook, because you're also on Facebook too. Any words of advice for somebody that is maybe looking for your type of services? Any like words of advice or anything that you have to impart on someone today that's listening to the call?
Well, anybody who feels that are calling to work with a coach, I would say that they should look into them and just go with the feeling, the intuitive feeling, very much, and see that what they say speaks to them very much. I mean, working with a coach, it has to feel like a match.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really, really important for both parties, for myself and for the other person. So, for example, if there's a client that comes and I feel I can't help them, and I go very much on energy. If it's not, and I suppose my clients can feel it as well. Then I would maybe recommend them to work with somebody else in my network or so to speak.
Love that. I love it.
But it's so important that you feel comfortable with that person.
Yeah, the trust, the energy, that you're vested in their success as much as they're vested in your ability to help them to transform.
And normally it goes with a feeling. I've had hired life coaches all in the States, for example, and they spoke to me straight away. I had a chat and it feels right. And I'm like, okay, there you go. Where do I sign up? It's a feeling. And I've spoken to other coaches where I was like, no, I don't really feel it. And that's okay.
And I will say that I love the fact that you bring that up, because I myself have like hired coaches, and then I felt like after I didn't feel like they had my best interest in mind, and it was like you're just paying, you know what I mean? So
I've seen that 100%. But I think it's also, you will feel, I don't know if the ones that have worked for you, it has been energetic, an intuition that had worked with them, or it feels right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when in the beginning we had a question mark or so forth, then your intuition is probably right.
Oh yes, trust your intuition.
100%.
100%. Anything else before we close up this awesome interview for today?
I want to thank you for your time. It's been fantastic. I love the work you do, and thank you for having me to do. I really like the energy we have. I love your energy. So.
And that just goes to show you, like, the fact that, you know, you trust your intuition. Like, I reached out to Vanessa on Instagram and she liked the energy, and then we met before this, and I
felt like I'd known you before as well. It's like, what?
I feel the same way. And we just, it's amazing. Like the energy that Vanessa gives to people, I can feel it. It's truly powerful, transformational. And I love the fact that she's been there and she's done it. She's not just, you know, she is walking the talk, you know.
I believe that if I do my own breakthroughs, I can help my clients. But I've expect my clients to do the work, I also have to do the work.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't mean I might just be a little bit further along than them. Absolutely. I haven't finished because I don't see the journey as ending.
Yeah, same.
I see it. I believe we're here to evolve.
Yes.
And that is infinity.
Yes.
So I'm just a few chapters ahead.
I love that. I love
it.
I love that. Oh my gosh. All right. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning in today for another Spiritual Spotlight series with Vanessa. Reach out to her either on Instagram, Facebook, hello@vanessaarends.com.
Yes.
And I will make sure to put her email address when I post this. And everyone, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk with everyone soon.